Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So, morning routine. So this morning I woke up a little bit later because I had a late night, not partying obviously because we're in coronavirus, although the pubs have just opened. But I woke up a bit late and I managed to get my morning routine and I felt good again. And this is something I've talked about before, but I really wanted to talk about it again because lots of people talk about routine, and particularly in lockdown, people have struggled to adapt. But the best advice I've heard, and from sort of when I check out personal development channels, is to stick to a routine. Now, there's sticking to a routine and there's religiously, really having a real strict routine. Now, it's good to have a little bit of flow in your routine as well. But having a routine allows you to understand where your day's going to go. So that's why I wanted to touch on morning routine, because that really sets up the basis for the rest of your day. I sometimes get out of bed and I'm a little bit moody. I'm sometimes not feeling good. I sometimes feel a bit anxious or worried about what I've got coming up. Or I think about the past and regret something. Or think about, oh, I wish it was like there. I wish I was back on that holiday again. Not thinking in the present. But usually when I finish my routine, more often than not, I feel good and ready for the day when I've taken on some important tasks and things that make me feel good. And what you want to do is have your own specific morning routine, because I'm going to give some advice on what I currently do and I tweak it depending on what I need in my life, but it's going to be different for you. But you want something that's going to make you feel good. You don't want to go into your day feeling down and not having the energy. You want to feel good and build up that self-esteem. So historically, when I worked in the public sector a few years ago, my morning routine just consisted of me getting up, having a shower, have something to eat, getting into my car. I had quite a nice car, actually, a few years ago. Miss having a car. But obviously money spent on better things now. And then I'd go to work, be at work, and then come home. I'd go to the gym in the evening. But I just carry on the same routine over and over again, and get to the weekend and party, and it just continue. And I wouldn't always feel great some mornings. I just feel a bit down, to be honest, going into the job I wasn't that keen on, and then carrying on that routine over and over again. But then when I got a new job and moved to Bristol, I started to build a routine and develop it more and more. And one book I talked about, which is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, really helped me to think of a routine and then develop it from there. And I was able to go into my days with so much more energy and get in the most important things for me to develop myself as well. So that's what I'm going to share. So one of the first things I do is stretch or do a bit of yoga. Why do I do that? I do that because my body's been asleep for, well, hopefully at least 7 hours, 7.5 to 8 hours ideally. And it's been lying still, been lying down. So I want to get it moving. I want to get that blood flowing and going again. So that's the first thing I do. It's quite simple. It's not too much to it. It's just getting my body moving, get that brain working again, get that energy rather than feeling sluggish. The next thing I do is I start to work on my voice exercises. Now, I've got a voice coach and I've got a long way to go to improve the quality of my language. Thinking about it now, I'm just starting to slow myself down because I talk quite quick sometimes and miss the odd word. And my THs are a struggle sometimes. But I go and work on my set voice exercises for the day, and I think that's important because I have a lot of Zoom. Well, at the moment it's not face to face so much, but it's online. I have phone calls, various things which I do throughout the day, and in order to give updates at meeting, record videos and talk to a range of people, it's quite important that I work on my voice. So getting that in early on the day is really beneficial. Now, you don't have to be making loads and loads of videos like me. You don't have to be giving loads of updates for your company. But I always think communication and working on how you speak to people is quite important in my opinion. Now, some people are going to be more shy than others and keep to themselves, which is absolutely fine. Do what makes you happy. But we do have to interact with other human beings, most of us, on a daily basis. So I think it's quite important to do some kind of communication work. personally, for me, it's very important. But I think even just 5 minutes of recording yourself speak or practicing something is going to help you. I work on poems every day, not writing them, but reading them, just so I can get a range of words into my vocabulary and learn how to do pauses better, which if you watch my videos, I could do a bit more work on. But that's why I've got a voice coach. So that's the next thing I do, work on my voice. Then what I do is I go into another room and I start journaling my goals. And I do more journaling in the evening because I find it's quite good to reflect on the end of the day for me. But some people like doing a long journaling session in the morning, which is great. But for me, I quite like to write down my goals, my big goals. And I picked this out of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is a highly recommended book. If you haven't read it. For me personally, it wasn't my favourite book. I think there's better books out there, but some people will slate me for that. But we all got our own preferences. Or we all have our different preferences. See, voice coach works there. Voice coach work there. You can tell why I need a voice coach, can't you? Just a little bit of the vocabulary there. But anyway, going back to the point I was making. I write down my goals because that's really trying to get into my subconscious where I want to go, how I want to improve, and really that vision for my life. And I've been told when you write down I am a speaker, I am a writer, I am in this marriage with this wonderful woman who's got this criteria, I am donating to this, and this, I am impacting on this. That's really going to start going into your subconscious, and then you start doing behaviors and actions that are consistent with that. And I'm finding that in my life a lot more. I'm not hitting my big dream, but I'm loving life as I am, and I'm doing the actions consistent with where I want to get to. It's about who you are now. But writing down those big goals can help you become clear and start to understand who you need to become. It doesn't always feel like it makes an immediate impact, but continuously writing it down, I've definitely felt an improvement in myself and going towards my goals by taking the relevant actions. In a very similar point, but slightly different to that one, around my subconscious, the next thing I do is affirmations. Now, I've sort of been a bit on and off with affirmations over the years, but I really started to see the value of them when I went to a recent spiritual psychology workshop. And that's because when you say what you're saying to yourself is going into your subconscious, and your subconscious is massive. It's huge, a huge storage, and it's stored up all these beliefs over the years in it. So there's going to be things that might be in your belief system, like I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I can't love me the way I am. Now, you can't help that. These are all these negative beliefs caused by, just bad situations, some more traumatic for others than some, obviously. But if you keep sending a new affirmation to yourself, you'll start to believe it eventually, because that's embedding a new belief into your subconscious. So I say I am amazing, I am enough constantly, because I've had a belief that's believed the opposite for so long. And when I keep saying that over and over again, it embeds a message into the subconscious. So for that one, first of all, try and understand, do a bit of journaling on what your negative beliefs are, and then think of the opposite and say it over and over again to yourself as an affirmation. The next thing I do in the morning is meditation. Now, meditation, there's many different ways, and it's whatever works for you. If someone tells you to meditate that way or that way, tell them to shut up, because don't tell them to shut up if they're like an expert and they're genuinely trying to help you. But if someone ever tells you, you should be meditating that way, you should be doing this, then don't listen to them, because what works for you is different for what works for someone else. I remember some woman lecturing and going on about it and saying, oh, that's not a proper way to meditate. It's like, who are you to tell someone that's the right way to meditate? So I got quite a strong view on this. But it's what works for you. So there's different ways of meditations, but I'm just going to share my own personal recommendation, and I've tried different things, and this is working for me currently. It's to listen to binaural beats and breathe in and out, because binaural beats has been shown to get both sides of your brain moving, and it puts vibrations through, and actually it can activate certain parts of your brain and then access parts of your subconscious that might be stored away. And there's different types of waves that binaural beats can activate. But I find that's quite good for keeping me present, listening to that kind of music and the beats, and also breathing in and out so that I can work on my breathing and make it calm and slow and steady through the day rather than beating, because that's a good way to start the day as well. My next recommendation is reading. I really love reading. I love growing. Now you don't have to read, you can listen to an audiobook if you're more of a listener. I like both. But when I read, it really helps me grow and learn something ready for the day. And that's something that really works for me. So taking in new information can equip you for potential things that are going to come for the day. So that's my next recommendation. Quite a simple one, but a bit of reading in my morning routine, about 20 minutes or so. Then I go into a cold shower. Obviously I put my book away and everything like that, but I go into a cold shower for about 2 minutes. Now that's got a number of benefits, but before you dive into a cold shower, if you've got health issues, I would recommend checking with your doctor whether it's a safe thing to do. But cold showers, there's no arguments that they wake you up. That's good. They wake you up, but you feel more present and alert to what you're doing in the moment. That's a benefit. But they also they've shown to sort of decrease elements of depression and feeling bad. Not on their own, but actually there is a link to the neuroadrenaline that's produced in the brain and cold showers. And it can also help you reduce the lactic acid that's in your muscles, so you feel nice and relaxed. So a cold shower is what I do next. And then I listen to a song. It's a song by Robbie Williams, if you've not heard it, called I Love My Life, because the lyrics are so positive. They're like another affirmation. They just go over and over again. I love my life. I won't sing because I'm a terrible singer, but I love my life. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. I am magical. But singing that every day really starts to embed a good message and make you feel good about who you are when you sing it every day. Okay, a question for you today. What does your morning routine consist of? And leave a comment below. So to wrap up today, getting a good morning routine in can really get you off to that great start you might need for the rest of the day. You're going to build momentum. You can start addressing things that are going to give you the advantage as you go into your day. So whether it's your voice exercises, whether it's stretching and loosening off, whether it's priming the mind in terms of meditation, or you might want to do journaling, it's going to get you off to a better day. And it's really important we get routines in and these disciplines in order for us to be able to handle the pressures that life throws at us. We're not going to feel 100% perfect all the time with following a morning routine, no, but it helps you maintain a level of discipline. And when you start getting these problems in, you're able to not control them, that's a bad word, it's not control, but handle them a lot better. So that's my video today and my advice on morning routine. Just to say, I'm going to start doing 2 YouTube videos a week now that will be coming out. So keep staying tuned into my channel and you're going to get more video. I'll catch you soon.